Hello, everybody. Matthew from therighttrader.com back again today with another live stream. I am joining you here today, and whether you're watching this video a day later, 2 days later, a week later, a month later, even 1, 2, 3, 4 years later, okay, this video is probably going to stand the test of time. And the reason for that is I'm explaining, or I will be explaining, how exactly Ethereum will reach $15,000 in the next couple of years. Okay, so the reason why I titled it that is specifically on how that will happen, because it's not just going to go up in a straight line like some people think. Okay, it would be amazing if that were to be the case, but most of the time that's not how it happens. In fact, even if we look back at the history of Ethereum and crypto in general, right, we have very big highs and also very periods of downside. Okay, so you need to be aware of that, and that's why I'm going to be explaining how we might go about reaching that $15,000 level for Ethereum's price. Okay, and $15,000 doesn't mean that's as high as Ethereum will ever go. It will probably end up reaching over $20,000, $25,000 over time. Yes, that could take 10, 15, 20 years, but this might be one of the biggest assets on earth in the next couple decades. Okay, and in fact, you might be wondering, why is there a bat and an ultrasound emoji in the title of this video? Well, that's what's being called ultrasound money for Ethereum. Okay, and you can check out this page on Twitter. It's pretty cool. You can see that bat and that ultrasound emoji there. Now, what is this page about? It explains basically how Ethereum, now that it has been merged into a proof of stake protocol, okay, is in fact ultrasound money. Now, some of you might be wondering, what does that exactly mean? Well, what that means is, if we look at the actual supply, okay, issuance rate of Ethereum, it's extremely low right now. Okay, now that it's proof of stake and that the merge has fully completed, now I want you to compare this with proof of work. Okay, so you can see here that Ethereum is now has a lower issuance rate than Bitcoin and substantially lower than ETH when it was proof of work. Okay, so yes, there's literally a slower issuance rate on Ethereum than Bitcoin and of course ETH before the merge. Now, if you look at this tweet right here, you're going to see how much better Ethereum is after the merge as a proof of stake network. Okay, now some of the things include, there is an over 99.4% participation rate after the merge. There's 99.9% less electricity burn, and here are the big ones, folks. There's 8 times less issuance, okay, of ETH being supplied. There's 19 times less supply growth, and we can see that there's been 0 incidents or issues after the merge. Okay, so that just shows you how strong the developers are on Ethereum. Now, there's a bunch of super important information on this website if you're interested in how ETH might be the biggest asset eventually in the crypto space. Okay, and by the way, we're going to be looking at the detailed chart later in this video, but let me get through this because you're going to all be shocked with some of the stuff you see on this page, and I'm going to run you through these details because this is really important in understanding the fundamentals behind Ethereum, the issuance, the supply, etc., etc. Okay, and of course, Ethereum is the second biggest cryptocurrency right now with a market cap of $160 billion. I am on the side that I think Ethereum is going to blow past $1 trillion and probably substantially higher than that as well over time. Okay, so right now it's at $1,300. And per the title of this video, $15,000. We're going to be talking about how it might reach that. And like I said, guys, this is just the beginning. Okay, $15,000 is not going to be the all-time high, in my opinion. We're going to head towards 25K plus over time. But that's just to show you how easily, basically, Ethereum can 10x. Okay, so reaching $1.5 trillion in market cap or higher. And right now we're filming this in the bear market, so it depends when you might be watching this, but you're going to see why I'm mentioning that in just a second here. So over here on this page, you can see the supply growth of Ethereum, right? Is the burn greater than the issuance? Well, let's take a look at this right now, okay? So what's super interesting here is if we look at the amount of Ethereum burned per year, now this is just an estimate based on the current amounts, okay? Based on the amount of volume that we're seeing today and the amount that will be burned per year, we're looking at 538,000 ETH being burned per year, okay? So that means the supply growth would be literally almost flat. And basically, the reason why this is not as important, and I mentioned that we're in a bear market, is because let's take a look at the all-time chart to get us a better picture of the volume on Ethereum. Look at this, folks. We're going to be probably burning over 2,000 Ethereum per year. And that means that we will literally be deflationary, hence the term ultrasound money, which you can see right here, right? That bat emoji and the ultrasound emoji that I talked about earlier in this video. That's where that comes from, okay? We're literally not only going to be at, almost no issuance that you see on this chart here, but most likely, right, as Ethereum grows bigger and its volume reaches all-time highs, we're going to be literally reducing the supply of Ethereum every year, okay? And this could go substantially higher. This could become 2-3% or so. And that's what's important to keep in mind, okay? Now, as we go lower here, you're going to find a bunch of super key information. One of the bits is the estimated projection for ETH supply here moving forward, okay? Now you can see that it's probably going to be cut in half over the next 200 years. Now that might not seem like a lot, but like I said, this all depends on the burn rate, okay? So you can play around with the numbers and see what might happen, but that's just to show you kind of what's going on right now. And like I said, look at how we're now officially, reducing the supply of Ethereum after the proof of stake merge, okay? So over here you can see the burn and what protocols are actually burning the most Ethereum. Okay, you can see here that OpenSea, for example, has already burned 122 ETH, Uniswap 157 ETH. Okay, and that's on a 1-day time frame. If we move over to 7 days, you can see how much more that skyrockets. And last 30 days, guys, we're literally looking at 1,700, 1,500 just in the top two protocols of ETH burned. Okay, for Tether, that's over 700 ETH burned in the last 30 days alone. And keep in mind, this is going to keep increasing over time as these protocols get bigger. Okay, a lot of these protocols are still at baby stages. Things like OpenSea, yes, it's huge, but right now its volume is down 99%. Imagine when it's back to all-time highs and well beyond that, how much ETH is getting burned on a 30-day period, okay? Not even a per year period, but on a 30-day period. We could be talking 15,000 plus ETH every month being burned just from one protocol like this, okay? And that's only with the amount of protocols we have now. So I want you to imagine the scale of this as this becomes one of the biggest globally decentralized networks. Now, here you can see the total amount of ETH burned in the last 7 days, okay? In the last 30 days, we're officially at, let's see here, 35,000 plus ETH burned, okay? So this just shows you kind of fundamentally what we're talking about here when we're talking about the scale of this, okay? Now, we have a comment from one of the viewers here, when will it happen? And I'll be trying to answer that as best as I can. I don't actually think that it's going to take that long for ETH to reach $15,000. But we're going to be talking about that, of course. How long will it take? And honestly, it could literally happen in a matter of the next 2 to 3 years max, even the next 1 to 2 years. So it depends on how the global economy goes, the macro economy, right? How stocks perform. If stocks perform well, it's going to help ETH perform even better. But we're seeing how the governments are actually failing compared to cryptos, okay? The UK basically announced quantitative easing to buy bonds at whatever scale is necessary. And that's why we saw cryptos actually go up today. So as this continues to happen, cryptos should move higher over time. And in fact, they should move exponentially higher over time as well. So that is why I'm so bullish on Ethereum and other cryptos. Now, another thing that's very key here on this website, okay, is going to be this right here. Now, first off, you can see this price model, okay, based on annualized profits and the PE ratio. If Ethereum matches the PE ratio of Tesla, for example, we should already be at over $10,000 in price. Now, what I want to show you here is one of the most interesting things on this entire website here, where you can see the flippenings. Okay, that means when Ethereum, through its market cap, okay, bypasses, for example, Bitcoin. That's something that the Ethereum community has long predicted. We'll see if it ends up happening. I do think it's possible that this gap becomes very small, and maybe even eventually they're going to start fighting for that #1 spot. And we might see ETH #1 for a while, then Bitcoin, then ETH again, etc. Okay, I think that could absolutely happen. And actually, right now, the distance in market cap is very small between the two, right? ETH is at 161 billion, Bitcoin is at 373 billion. So over here you can see that, in fact, 43% plus we're already there to flip the market cap of Bitcoin. Okay, and for gold, for example, we still have a ways to go, but that also leaves a huge amount of room for the price growth of Ethereum. Okay, if Ethereum will end up bypassing the market cap of gold, which is currently at around $7 trillion, I'll let you do the math, but that's going to be a gigantic price appreciation for Ethereum. Okay, we're talking literally over 20, 30, 40x for that to happen. But that also means Ethereum bypassing well over $20,000. Okay, and I do think that's possible. Like I said, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take, of course, probably a few decades for it to bypass gold's market cap, but I do think it's possible. And keep in mind that now with proof of stake, you can actually earn passive income through staking your Ethereum. Okay, I believe it's somewhere around 3 to 4% right now. So if you're enjoying this video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. We're talking about how Ethereum will reach $15,000, folks. Okay, and this could happen in the next 1 to 3 years, in my opinion. And that's just the beginning of what will be Ethereum reaching multi-trillion-dollar market caps over the next few years. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button. If you want to support the channel, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and consider dropping a super chat. Now, as we talk about this 15K price target here, we're going to talk about how this might happen. You already see a few levels that I have drawn out on the chart here. You might be wondering, what are those levels exactly? Well, let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Okay, so when you look at these levels, you need to understand that these are support levels that we're currently experiencing for Ethereum. Okay, so I'll go ahead and zoom out now. We're going to talk shorter term, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to bypass the previous all-time high, which was a little bit below $5,000. Okay, and by the way, to get to that previous all-time high is a 264% move, but we're talking about reaching $15,000. Okay, so how might that happen? Well, let's take a look at what's going on here. So first off, the first thing I want to mention is we are still in a downtrend after this bear market for Ethereum. However, we're not that far from breaking out of that. Okay, so hopefully we're going to see us go up towards this downtrend and hopefully break above it. We're going to be talking about that in just a second, but focusing in on these two areas where you see these two lines up here and these two lines at the bottom. These are our key support levels. Okay, right now we're still in the upper support level between $1,250 and $1,400. Okay, however, if we lose $1,250, we could be heading lower down to $1,000. If we go below $1,000, okay, which is not to say anything is wrong with Ethereum, but it might just be the global macro economy, right? Stocks doing very badly right now. So who knows? We could lose support. We could end up even going below $1,000. And unfortunately, the way Ethereum has grown very quickly, okay, it leaves a bit of an open gap. And in fact, we don't have much support after $1,000 down to $500, and we could even go as low as $361. Okay, now that is the bearish case scenario. Guess what? Even if that were to happen, okay, that we were to go down to here, I think over time we would consolidate and that just going right back to the all-time highs. Okay, and if you want to know, how that might happen a little bit more, well, simply you can go back and look at what happened during the bear market, the crypto winter, okay, which was basically a lot of consolidation. But guess what happened right after that? We got one of the biggest moves of all time on Ethereum, over 3,000%. Okay, that basically happened in a year and a half. And, that is still Ethereum in its baby stage with just a few big protocols like, you know, Uniswap, Curve, MakerDAO, but imagine what it's going to be in 5 years time. Okay, now I think you're starting to get where I'm going with this, okay, in terms of the scale of how big it could reach. And by the way, I love seeing your comments, so go ahead, leave your comments and hit that like button if you haven't already. Now, in terms of this upside scenario where we go flying higher and, you know, initially break about $5,000, how are we going to reach that 15K price level? Okay, well, of course, a lot of it has to do with this playing out over the course of the next few months and in the next year or two. We're talking about the ultrasound money, the reduction of issuance, and eventually even the massive supply burn, okay, where we're going to be reducing the amount of Ethereum every day and every year, okay? So this is going to be when we're going to see Ethereum reach levels that no one had even thought possible. For example, nearing or maybe even bypassing the market cap of gold, okay? Now, in terms of the actual price chart here, what needs to happen for us to get to that 15K level, okay? Well, the first thing that needs to happen is we need to break out of this short-term bear market that we're in, okay? And in fact, we have found support here, so it is possible that we might have already found the bottom. Now, we can't be sure because we talked about that downside price target of losing $1,000, which could happen due to the economy being pretty bad right now, and cryptos tend to sell off when there's fear in the markets, okay? But right now we're seeing a bit of a bounce in the last 24 hours and in the last 7 days, okay? And by the way, this is not to create a war between Ethereum or ETH, between Bitcoin or Ethereum, because they can both do extremely well together and reach levels that no one even thought were possible, okay? Now, I also want you to take a look at, the coin supply growth of Ethereum now that it's proof of stake and Bitcoin. Okay, it is 10 times less than the supply issuance of Bitcoin. So when everybody tells you that Bitcoin is scarce, etc., yes, that's true. But look at what's going on with Ethereum. Okay, it's 10 times less supply issuance as of right now. This is not considering when we're in full burn mode yet. So keep this in mind, folks. This is how fundamentally you reach that 15K plus level. Now, on the technicals, it's not actually as hard as some people think to reach 15K, okay? All that has to happen is we break out of this downtrend that we're in, and after that, we actually don't have that many major resistance levels after that, okay? We have this 2K price level. We could be above $2,000, folks, in the next 1 to 3 months. So I'm not worried about this level, and honestly, it's not even worth putting on the chart because I don't think we're going to struggle that much with getting above that. As soon as we get above that, these next resistance levels of around 3,000, 3,500 maybe, there's a bit of resistance there. It's not that big of a deal because, like I said, we just need to pretty much break out of this 1,500, preferably get above $2,000, and after that, not that much resistance ahead, okay? We could really start flying up to $3,500, and after that, guess what? Once we're at that level, we only need a little 35% gain, and we'll be back above the all-time highs, okay? That means back above $5,000. Guess what? Once we're at $5,000, we only need a 3x, okay? We only need a 3x to, reach $15,000. And guess what? We can take a look at what that market cap might be looking like. If we look over here, when we were at our all-time highs, almost, $5,000, well, we're at $500 billion in market cap, a little bit above that, okay? And basically, okay, a 3x would mean ETH reaching $1.5 trillion in market cap, okay? Guess what? That's smaller than Apple's market cap. And this is for the biggest globalized decentralized network that's hosting amazing applications such as Uniswap, Curve, Maker, decentralized stablecoin, Aave, biggest lending platform in crypto, and of course, absolute game changers like Ethereum name service. Okay, I made a whole video on this, but this is something that could revolutionize the entire internet as we know it. And, of course, we're barely even scratching the surface here in terms of NFTs, okay? But look at how much Ethereum is being traded here for Ethereum name service alone, okay? And now let's go ahead and show you what ENS is for people who don't know. I made actually a whole video on it today, but this allows you to get basically like twitter.com, okay? but twitter.eth. And we're seeing this catch steam like wildfire, okay? The jump up in usage of this has been through the roof. We've already seen interest from companies like Coinbase, Instagram, etc. to integrate this. So this is something that could change social media and the internet as we know it, okay? I want you to imagine if every website is run on this, what the market cap of Ethereum might be looking like. Not Ethereum name service, but of Ethereum. Because guess what? Ethereum name service is just one little piece of the puzzle of ETH as a whole, okay? So like I talked about in this price chart, basically right now in the short term, what we're focusing on is getting out of this downtrend. And after that, things are going to be moving pretty smoothly, especially as soon as we get back above $2,000. That's when we can start feeling safe again and more comfortable that we're not necessarily going to sink lower and go to $1,000 and below. And like I said, if we do see that bear market panic, peak panic, I should say, peak fear come into the market, here's why you shouldn't be that concerned. Because even if we go at my peak low estimate of $361, around $350 of price, okay, which could happen. That's our kind of lowest support level here, but this is major long-term support. Okay, even if we were to reach this level, it's just a matter of the bear market playing out, which could last, sooner rather than longer. We're not sure, but the previous one was about 2 years. And, it was just a lot of consolidation. Yes, it was maybe scary to be in it, but guess what? That led to this massive 3,000% plus, actually 4,000% plus increase in price, okay? And that's why I'm saying we're talking about, 3,000% increase in price. And guess what? We don't even need that much to reach that 15K price level. All we need is basically a 10x, a little bit over a 10x, okay? I want you to think about how easily that happens in crypto, right? From the previous bear market into this recent bull market that we had, we went up 4,000%, okay? Now, let me pull out my handy calculator here, and let's go ahead and calculate this, okay? So we're at $1,342, and let's just say we go up 2,000%, meaning half of what we did, okay? Which we might replicate that same thing, but let's say we do half it because we're bigger market cap and it's harder to do. So let's say we even do half of it. Look at where that puts us at. $28,000 in price. Okay, so I don't want to hear that 15K is not a possible price target where we could actually be reaching 30K, double my price target, okay? And you saw me do the math there. So now, right, we talked about the fundamentals, the absolute, powerhouse that is Ethereum after the merge, okay? And how just based on, the average volume on Ethereum, we might be burning over 2,000 ETH a year. And like I said, this is ETH in its current state, okay? Now, we saw that during the bull market, we had a little bit over $100 billion in total value locked on Ethereum. We're now quite a bit below that, about a third of that, okay? However, why is this important? Because on the next bull market, we could be at $500 billion in total value locked, okay? So now I want you to imagine when there's $500 billion in total locked, 5 times the amount of, all-time traded volume of Ethereum, okay? Think about what the burn is going to be. And like I said, it could be 2, 3, 4, 5%. It depends on the year. It depends on the amount of Ethereum being moved around, being traded, okay? And that's something that you can always go to this website, Ultrasound Money, and look at what is burning the most Ethereum, okay? So just in the last 30 days, guess what? Simple ETH transfers were what burned the most Ethereum. Over 2,500 ETH were burned just from simple ETH transfers. This is not including Uniswap. This is not including OpenSea. But if you add those, if you add potential other big projects that end up coming about, if you add Ethereum name service potentially becoming the default domain name method on the internet, just think about ENS. This could easily 10, 20, 30, 40x over the next 5, 10, 15 years. So hopefully you're seeing the value of Ethereum as a proof of stake cryptocurrency. And, you can play around with this price model, for example, over here, right? But this shows you, how you only need little differences in how people are valuing Ethereum to reach some pretty crazy prices. Okay. And right now, Ethereum is not even as big as Bitcoin yet. Look at how much we have to go higher to get to bypass gold. Okay. So you saw me do the math on the calculator. Hopefully now you saw how realistic 15K is. Okay. And by the way, yes, 20, 25, 30K, absolutely very realistic in the next 10, 15 years. Okay. Who knows? We might even hit that much sooner. But right now, looking at the chart, looking at what has happened historically, I feel pretty confident in saying that in the next bull market, which most likely will be in the next 1 to 3 years, we will be managing to reach above $10,000, not above $5,000, but above $10,000 in price, and probably hitting, maybe even going a little bit above, yes, you heard it here on this channel, $15,000. Okay, 10, 12, 15K. These are very realistic price targets for the next bull run. And I just showed you exactly how that might happen. Okay. And this is official, guys. Ethereum is now ultrasound money. And yes, as of right now, even as of right now, we have a lower issuance rate than Bitcoin. So when people say Bitcoin is scarce, yes, it is. But think about Ethereum. Okay. Think about also what is causing Ethereum to be so scarce. It's actually applications and value and usage on the network. So we should definitely be celebrating this merge, and the fact that it's ultrasound money. That's where this emoji of the bat and the ultrasound come into play. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. Okay. If you did, make sure to follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on TikTok if you want short updates, and also check out my technical analysis master course. It's less than $20 and comes with a full 30-day money back guarantee if you're not satisfied. So you have nothing to lose by giving it a try. And please help share this video. Send them the link to this video to your friends. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, what are you waiting for? We're giving the best content on YouTube in the crypto space, the best information, the most detailed analysis, not only on the charts, but also on the actual fundamental side of things. So you have the best understanding of what's going on. Okay. And by the way, if we do end up seeing the bearish scenario where we go lower, what will probably happen is a cup and handle formation. I have an entire video dedicated to that on my YouTube channel. But I'm saying if we do see the market, fall lower, don't go freaking out. Okay. All that needs to happen is a completion of a cup and handle formation, which we had. Okay. And that's the worst case scenario, is just a bit of consolidation at lower prices. At least that's how I'm thinking of it long term. And keep in mind, with the quantitative easing that we're now seeing from the UK government, we might even not go down lower than what we already have. Okay. This $800 may have been the bottom. And if we manage to hold $1,250 and head back above $2,000, I'm going to call it pretty much confirmed that we're going to be heading towards $5,000 and above. That's just my personal opinion, not financial advice. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And this video, although I live streamed it, will be re-uploaded after the live stream, so you can rewatch it from the beginning if you missed anything. And like I said, support this channel, support Ethereum and this new proof of stake merge. Okay, teach people about this, what this means. You can send them a link to my video, to your friends, to anybody who that's investing in crypto. And with that being said, I just want to thank you for the support today. Okay, loved seeing your comments, and hopefully you subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell notification to not miss out on this level of content. Because yes, when we're talking about Ethereum being at $1,300 and only needing a 10x and how realistic that is, that means missing out on one of the biggest moves in crypto that you can still get in on. And like I said, that's not financial advice. That's just my own personal experience. But keep in mind, I was here back during the first bull market, guys. I was here during the first bull market. I experienced the entire run up. This is when Bitcoin reached 20K for the first time, and the fall back down, and the whole other run up. I was here throughout all of this. Okay, I didn't go hiding in a corner like other crypto YouTubers. I was here throughout all of it, and I'm here during this most recent pullback bear market that we're in, and I will surely be here for the next pump higher on Ethereum and on the rest of the crypto space. Like I said, there's no need to have a war in the crypto space between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other good coins out there. they're all going to do well together for the most part. Okay, any coin that has good value is going to do well in the long term, but Ethereum is still one of the safest, smartest, and easiest bets to make for a 10, 20, 30x in the coming years, and even long term in the coming decades, depending on how you want to play this. If you want to stake it for years to come and just earn passive income on it, that's up to you. Like I said, this video is not financial advice, but I thank you so much for your support today, and I will be seeing you all very soon. This live stream will be re-uploaded so you can watch it all from the beginning if you missed anything. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Leave your comments down below on how high a price you think Ethereum will reach over the next coming years and decades. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.